Vols fans, the best fans in football. Rowdy, passionate, dedicated. And this is where Vol Nation comes to talk. Welcome to the hottest spot for all things Tennessee Vols. This is Tennessee Fan Talk, where the orange and white comes to life with a dash of humor, a sprinkle of wit, and a whole lot of Southern charm, bringing you the latest updates, breaking news, and some good old-fashioned laughs along the way. We're the water cooler chat you wish you were having at the office, minus the boring stats. Whether you bleed orange or you're just dipping your toes into the world of Tennessee sports, this is for everybody. It's loud, it's proud, it's Tennessee Fan Talk. And now your hosts, Byrd and the Duke.
Hey there, Tennessee basketball fans.
Feliz Año Nuevos to our Hispanic listeners. Is it too late to say that, considering that it is the 6th when we're recording
It's
this?
okay. Whatever.
When is it not a new year anymore? That's the question. Is it 2 months in? Is it 7 days in?
Well, you just rolled out of Hanukkah just a couple days, too.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Made it out of clay.
That's all I know.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I have no idea what they just said. That's not.
I think that is Hebrew for top.
It's basketball season in Tennessee. We're past football. Of course, we're going to talk about it. But first things first. And this I did not know. The Duke hit me with it today. Was our ladies.
I have watched more ladies Vols basketball this year than I have in my life, but I've watched a total of 7 minutes.
Ladies fall to the new kids on the block by a point.
Bobby Brown, some might say. I believe he was in New Kids on the Block.
By a point, and it's not going to get any easier from this point. This week they've got LSU, and then they go to Arkansas, and then they host Mississippi State. Go to Vandy. Might have to go see that game. That's
Texas. The only women's team Vanderbilt has, correct? Is women's basketball,
unless they have like women's.
I bet they have water polo.
They have women's Milton Bradley operation because it's Vanderbilt.
I was actually going to say heart transplant, women's transplant team.
At least it's transplant team and not the other kind of trans on the left coast.
We can't say what it is, folks. We'll get in trouble.
you
take it for you can read between the lines. You might not know what I'm saying, and if you think I know what you're thinking, you got a bad brain. You need to find Jesus.
What I love is Tennessee men's basketball having a season unlike any other season thus far, starting out 14-0. And what I love is a Coach Cal whooping.
Yep. Tennessee's the only men's team in America to have a net win on the road against Illinois.
Cal's Arkansas Hogs.
Sounds like you're talking about cows like moo cows.
Coach Cal's.
Calipari. He's probably a member of the mob.
That jacket looks like he's a member of the mob that he had.
His last name makes me sound like he's a member of the mob. I guarantee his family's from Sicily.
A team that normally has 80-some-odd points per game. Held to just 27 in the first half, 25 in the second half, and they let that last minute three go on that. It would have been in the 40-49.
Some conspiracy theorists say it's because the Razorbacks didn't have a shooter on that morning. You know, that's what the blame game was on anyway.
Oh, God.
Considering that's common for a lot of college basketball teams, they don't do shoot around sometimes, especially when time change differences and whatnot.
Womp, womp.
Cry me a river. Cry me a river.
So in the conference, Tennessee leading it all because they're 1-0 and then 14-0 overall. Auburn just right behind and nipping at their heels, 1-0, 13-1.
Some morons in the media have already put Auburn back number one.
Oh,
I guess they've forgotten that they have a loss.
They do.
And until we have a loss, we can't really discuss it.
That's correct.
Now they might be better than us.
And tied. That same record applies to Mississippi State and to Vanderbilt.
And Florida too, right?
No, Florida got beat by Kentucky.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kentucky 1-0 in the conference, 12-2 overall, as well as Ole Miss and A&M. And then we get into our losses of in the conference: Florida, Oklahoma, Georgia, Arkansas, LSU, Mizzou, Texas, and down in the bottom where they belong, South Carolina 0-1, 10-4.
Yeah, they had that one good year 5-10 years ago in the men's side, and other than that, they've kind of been since then.
I cannot remember that dude. They do have that strong dude, number 4 on Auburn, and I mind blank what his name is. But dude is strong.
Yeah, and I'd have to think that some dudes on Tennessee are strong too. For his size, I'm saying pound for pound, I would say Ziegler's strong.
Give me Ziegler any day of the week. You take a dude that's 5'8", 5'9".
So what we're saying is, even though what my analogy is not dead, it's the reincarnation of Muggsy Bogues.
Oh,
give it to me. Give it to me.
This dude is. I love that he's given it everything he's got in college because I don't see him in the NBA.
He's going to be playing in Greece next year.
Correct. But this dude, is half the size of the number 5 and taking it into the glass.
Yeah, Adu?
Oh, dude. No. I wasn't saying a jersey number, the 5-hole player.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Taking it on the glass. I do love that Adu was booed every time that man touched the ball. You gotta love Tennessee fans.
I mean, I don't remember who sings that song, but sometimes the grass ain't always greener.
He's like,
and then you
go over here and play with Coach Cal.
I've been to Fayetteville. It kind of sucks. I mean,
the Nashville native comes back. I'm worrying in the offseason of how do they replace Connect? Who is now going to connect?
We got to play Connect 4
outside. And Chaz is insane. Transferred from North Florida, coming back home to his state. 36 minutes on the floor. 5 for 9 beyond the 3-point line. And I say beyond because that dude's rarely ever at it. Now, I haven't seen him.
Is he from Lofton distance? Is he shooting from Lofton distance?
Connect will pull up from
the E.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot to choose from, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, as I call it, the 4-point line.
Yeah.
Way out there.
Rock Jock days. Folks, if you remember that back in the MTV Rock Jocks.
This man is a beast, and Tennessee owned the boards. Owned it. They owned the paint. They owned every part about it. And I love that they did it against Calipari. Love it.
I mean, it's a good way to start, right? I mean, but basketball is very finicky. Like baseball, very finicky. I wouldn't be surprised. We might slip up and lose to Florida. And the problem with that is our fan base is batshit crazy, pardon my French. It drives me, like, I'm not very active on Twitter, but during the transfer portal talking about football, I'm sure we'll get to it later, they want to drive me crazy. I wouldn't want to play here if I was some of them guys. They're absolutely crazy. I know every fan base has it, but I just feel like we're the most vocal. Well, obviously because we're the only fan base to ever get a coach fired before he coached his first game.
A big test. Florida goes to Racist Arena I'm gonna. Oh, I have to thank you for giving me that years ago because
sure
I use it every single time that I have to mention.
Well, I mean, Kentucky doesn't have a lot going for them, so any pub's good pub. I think they need to lean into it and come out with some jerseys called the Coal Dust, and they need to come out with some jerseys that are splattered black, yeah, and call it the Coal Dust.
Lymphoma,
black lung. You get lymphoma from asbestos, Byrd. Come on, not from coal dust.
Oh,
you get the black lung, but they just need to lean into it. And come out with the Coal Dust jerseys. We're sticking to our heritage here in the state of Kentucky.
Tennessee guys traveling to Gainesville for this.
Do they call that the swamp too?
And
they need to call it the swamp hole. I
think they call it the sewer.
Oh,
Bebop Rocksteady.
Are they going to come out to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Heroes in a half shell.
We're on the same page. That's great. Florida went up to Racist Arena and put up 100 on Kentucky, and Kentucky still
lost.
Kentucky, as a team, shooting nearly, if not right at 50% from outside the 3-point line, is insane. Now, imagine if they would not have been hot in threes that night. If it was
it's like they got a bunch of white boys on there.
If it was like a Tennessee team, die by the three.
White bread.
Imagine had they not been 50% on that. Had they been a normal, 30, little sub 30%, they would have gotten blown out by Florida. So Tennessee going down to Gainesville, it could be nasty. The last game, Tennessee was 85. Florida 66. Tennessee wins the overall series with them 81 wins, 59 losses. Oh my goodness, we're 8-2 over the last 10 matchups against them. So
yeah, the two losses were probably against Billy Donovan.
We lost against them in 23 at Gainesville.
I ain't worried about it. Like I said, one loss. At the end of the day, when you got a team like Tennessee, the rankings don't matter.
Actually,
until you get to tournament time.
Since 2017, we've only beat them one time in Gainesville.
That was last year. No, that would have been last year. They played in Knoxville last year.
In 23 we lost to them. We lost to them in 21 in Gainesville. We lost to them. Yep. So we beat them. Really we beat them in 19
because they play so many games.
They do,
and they really don't matter as long as you don't ship the bed, as the old Kmart commercial would say. SHIP. I just shipped my bed.
I just shipped my bed.
And you do fine in the regular season. You do fine the SEC tournament, and you get into the dance. That's all that really matters. So it does, in my humble opinion, college basketball doesn't really matter until March if you make it.
So on that point, I did hear a topic that we heard during the football season as well. Is the SEC conference so strong that when they're playing their conference games, does it hurt us on a national scale?
Well, if you go off of the playoffs, the answer would probably be there could have been a mistake that the SEC is as good as what everybody thought they were.
I love, and I'm sorry, I wish I could remember the handle on Twitter, X, whatever, of them replaying Lane Kiffin going, the SEC's just on another level. They're just on another level. They're just on another level. And it kept showing loss.
Yeah, well.
Let me tell you something. We're going to go to break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit of football. And going into the break, here's what I'm going to say. Notre Dame did not beat Georgia. Georgia beat Georgia.
I was happy about it.
Down with the dogs. Think on that, and we will be right back.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.
Wherever you are, we are. And we are at TN Fan Talk. Would you like to be on the show? We'd love to have you. Find our link tree in the show description. No experience or equipment is needed. Now, back to Tennessee Fan Talk. Here's Byrd and the Duke.
Hey, Tennessee fans. People going crazy over the transfer portal. There's a new wide receiver room. Some people come back. I think Chris Braz will come back. Mike Matthews came back.
And thank you for your service, Squirrel White. But like they said, if the wind blew too hard, you hurt your shoulder.
But deuces. And
he's playing at Florida State now. Good luck. If they've won a total of one football game this year. Now, I know that DJ Ungavaloa was a bust a long time ago because his hands are too small.
Right.
I mean, I'm just making a joke there, but he, I mean, he was, like I said, he just got hurt too much.
He did get hurt too much. And look, if the receivers were any good, there would have been more long bombs. You heard me crying about not having a good passing game all season.
Maybe and you said, not all you on the
said, you said, you think Nico's got it. We do not have the elite receiver.
I mean, yeah, I do agree with that, but I mean, I could always play devil's advocate with myself. I'm playing with myself here. You know what? Maybe Nico wasn't ready for the deep ball yet. That's how you play with yourself, folks.
You talk about deep balls. We get the transfer from USC. Is that?
No, that guy went to Georgia.
Oh,
the brothers, both of them went to Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. We signed some big cat from North Carolina or something. I don't remember his name. I don't know how many stars he is. But 2026 is when he's coming in.
Okay. Still working on the wide receiver room. Supposedly maybe a little better off this year.
But if Matthews, I guess, I mean, he took
if
the
he gets
paper
attempts, more than 16 attempts.
He kind of, I guess he tried to hold, I mean, for a lack of a better word, us, hostage on paying him or he's going to leave. If he was that good, was he not play this year?
Now,
but the other question
wait a minute. If you're a freshman and you're really good,
you got to be 17 first.
I so set him up for that.
You got to be 17 first.
The problem is he wasn't 17. He was older.
I can't remember who sings that song. She's only 17. 17. It's one of those 80s hair bands, but yeah. Or do you blame it on Heupel with the the seniority baby back bull crap that he hasn't been here long enough, I hope that's not right either. Like I hope it's not like sit back, watch, learn.
I mean, Boo Carter got to play a little bit. Jamar McCoy got to play.
Boo Carter is going to probably play the slot guy next year. I bet he's our slot receiver next year, starting game 1.
Okay. I'll take
Place your bets, folks. That's what I think. I think he's going to be our main slot guy next year on the offensive side of the ball. This Travis Hunter trend is going to be the hot topic for the next 10 years in college football. Everybody's going to try to find him that guy that can play on both sides of the ball. Save a little money on scholarship, huh?
And
save a little money on NIL, huh?
You know that people are going to try to find that.
But you also got to know that was Colorado in the Pac-12 or whatever they're called, Big 12. I can't remember. The X11.
It's Pac-12 this year.
Well, Pac-12's gone. It was the Big 12 or whatever they're in. They're in the conference that Texas and Oklahoma should still be in. But yeah, it's that conference is once again we're going back to was the SEC good question. Some may say not.
Question. We'll find out. A great segue leading in. The first game this week left in the college football playoffs is the Thursday. Really weird. Thursday.
Well, the reason they're doing it is because Saturday and Sunday is wild card for the NFL, and they don't want to clash with the NFL.
Yeah, I get that they don't want to, but
I can go ahead and tell you what the Super Bowl is going to be. It's going to be the Lions and the Chiefs. There you go, folks. You ain't got to play no other games.
Yeah. Hooker is he still on the Lions?
I guess. I don't know. He hadn't played none. He ain't had to. Jared Goff's the ball hauler.
Is a beast, and you know,
Mr.
Forehead himself, Dobbs, gets to reunite with Jawan Jennings now.
Oh, yeah. Well, their season's over. Jawan Jennings got kicked out of the game 53 yards short of making getting 1,000-yard receiving season and making an extra spiff. But you know, he blocked somebody. He blocked somebody into the San Francisco Bay.
Where were you going with him?
Put him in the back pocket at Levi Stadium.
I stopped when the whistle was blowing, Coach.
It's okay. He probably got up and said, "Courtesy of Captain Insano."
I mean, Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. Number 7 seed Notre Dame, number 6 seed Penn State. 13-1 for Notre Dame, 13-2 overall for Penn State. Looking through their schedules, God bless.
I will say that I would have to think that almost every college football fan knows Notre Dame's fight song, because I do. I don't know the name of it. Thank you. It's because of Rudy. Rudy.
Love some Rudy. If you had to pick,
I mean, you know my joke. I don't care.
I kind of feel Notre Dame.
I'm going to pick the referees.
If you had to pick,
you got to pick Penn State, because the Pac-10 is much stronger than a non-conference team. It doesn't they're the permanent non-conference game for anybody, because they're not in the conference.
I mean, they really.
Who's their best win outside of Georgia this year? USC,
A&M.
I could argue that USC might have had better talent. It's just
A&M, Northern Illinois, which is the one they lost. I had to throw that in there.
Sure.
Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, which is a decent win.
The Rambo Wreck from Georgia Tech, and a hell of an engineer.
The incredible Florida State Seminoles.
I do want to give you a little spin zone real quick. I wonder if Northern Illinois fans have the same problem that Tennessee fans have. It's like, so Northern Illinois is better than Georgia, right? Because they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame beat Georgia. That's a Tennessee fan. That's how they think. So Northern Illinois is better than Georgia this year, folks.
Virginia, Army, USC, Indiana, and
they also beat Indiana. You'd have to say that's their bet. Well, beside Georgia,
you know, they've got some wins on there. And then if you go look at Penn State, they have West Virginia, Bowling Green, Kent State, all Illinois. Now you start getting into it.
Illinois is good. They beat South Carolina.
You get into October and they had UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, lost to Ohio State, Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland, Oregon, and they lost, SMU, Boise State.
Yeah, so they really technically don't have that good of a win this year, do they?
Nope. I'm going Notre Dame. Touchdown, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm great. I don't care. Move along.
And the Friday, January 10th, 7:30 Eastern.
The home game for the Texas Longhorns.
Number 8.
What a scam.
You said that they were set up to do this whole thing.
I mean, put your 10 caps hats on, folks.
Because
from the SEC schedule, which Kentucky would have had a winning record in, to the seeding they got, to now they're playing in the semifinals for the Final Four in the damn Cotton Bowl?
In the Cotton Bowl.
Where they play the Red River Shootout?
At Arlington AT&T Stadium.
Oh, I thought they were playing in the actual Cotton Bowl. Never mind. It's even more of a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the actual Cotton Bowl, I think, is technically in Oklahoma, right across the line where they have the state fair at. That's technically where it's at. Since when have they moved the Cotton? Now, well, whatever. Who cares?
Texas, Colorado State, Michigan, UTSA, ULM, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, lost to Georgia, Vanderbilt by a field goal. I have to add that in there.
I mean, Diego Pavia thought he won the national championship for Vanderbilt this year.
Hey, he did win his lawsuit. He will be back next year.
Yeah, he's going to be rolling out in a wheelchair. I'm telling you, he needs to sign an NIL with AARP right now.
Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, A&M, lost to Georgia, Clemson, 2 overtime win over Arizona State.
The next time I see Diego Pavia, I'm going to see him on, do you have diabetes?
Dude.
Well, if you have diabetes.
The question is can Ohio State perform 3 games in a row?
Yes.
And if they do, they dominate Texas.
They're going to dominate. I don't think there's any question in my mind they dominate Texas.
If Sark is smart,
he plays Arch Manning.
He plays 2 quarterbacks. He goes 1996 Florida Gators and plays 2 quarterbacks.
If you ain't
because
got one,
Arch,
if you got 2 quarterbacks, you ain't got one.
All you're doing is opening up the third option. You got
so the only thing that Quinn Ewers can't do that Arch can do
is run like a cheetah.
Besides what I think throw the ball accurate is that run. Yeah,
he can run like and he's huge.
He can make it past the gun line, boss. If you've seen that movie, here's the gun line.
It's a Manning arm with a Tebow body. He's RoboCop.
And probably I don't, no disrespect to Tim Tebow. I don't know if he's smart or dumb, but Peyton Manning's pretty smart.
Peyton Manning.
He's the athletic Manning. He's the most athletic Manning since Archie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he played for the Aints forever. That's what they used to call them back in the day because they stunk. They called them the Aints, not the Saints.
The Aints are going to make it.
They were also the Aints this year at 5-14. Not as bad as the Titans.
I laughed so hard at the Georgia game when they went out there and did that swapperoo on 4th down, and Kirby Smart's guys got in the news. I was like, oh, look, it is Kirby dumb on that play call. He got out-coached right there.
Kirby's like, in the SEC, they told us we couldn't do that. That's what he said. In the SEC, we couldn't make a full line change, just like hockey. We can't make a full line change in the SEC.
Sankey said we can't do that. We had to call timeout.
Yeah, Greg Sankey don't know. I mean, I know more about football than Greg Sankey, and that ain't much.
That's saying something, folks.
Yeah, I'm the freaking Bobby Boucher. What do you want me to do, Coach? Tackle him? Got it.
I'm torn because I have that. I think Ohio State's going to win, but then I still have that reservation of I would like the SEC to take it home.
You can't say the word reservation in Texas. That's racist.
But then again, it's Texas, and they don't deserve to even be there.
Steers. Tears for fears. And steers.
But I don't want, Ohio State hadn't played anyone either.
Yeah, they played us.
And
they bus rolled Oregon, who was undefeated.
When they went 21-0 against Oregon, I went, oh my goodness. I feel so much better about the Vols.
I mean, Dan Lanning had a midget moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I can't say that, or a small person moment.
Yeah, I can't say.
A dwarf moment. An elf moment.
You know what I love about when you send someone videos like through Facebook Messenger or whatever. You
I don't have a Facebook.
You find a funny video and you share it. Same thing with Twitter or whatever.
Okay. Yes.
is it goes into that person's algorithm as watching it. And so they start. So I've been sending.
So you're sending gay porn?
No, I'm sending midget videos. And it's those ones where someoe's cleaning their teeth with a toothpick, pull it out, and sling a piece of meat. And it's a whole steak.
Come on, man.
Smacking a midget in the face.
Tie it together.
Or, I have no idea where that even going.
Yeah. So we lost the train of thought. Anyway, Ohio State.
Yeah, that's not tying into anything other than
Ohio State's going to beat the absolute piss out of Texas. I am excited. I'm not pulling for anyone. I told you in passing a couple days ago that I hope Jesus comes back so everybody loses. So everybody loses. I want Jesus to come back so everybody loses. I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot with Jesus, and I win.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I win for once, and I want everybody else to lose.
But we don't need Jesus to come back right this second. Not enough.
We need him to subscribe to the pod.
We need to subscribe to the pod. Two,
talk about putting a feather in your cap. We might have only 7, but that 7th, pretty good.
There's not enough fishermen of men out there yet. We need to bring some more people on over to the side of Christ.
Oh, I agree.
And then he can come on down.
He needs to we need to teach him how to throw buzz bait.
If Tennessee loses to Florida, as you guys are listening to this tonight, then he can just come on back.
You would think that was our fan base, buddy. One lost. Fire Rick Barnes. We lost one time. He's lost his edge. Fire him. That's how crazy we are, folks.
That is how crazy Tennessee fans are.
Well, not us.
Right.
We're not very rational, but we're more rational.
We're more realistic, right? Bring back Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, who cares about barbecue no more? Should have got him Ridgewood. If you know where
I'm sure John Gruden knows how to play basketball.
Yeah, John Gruden. I heard he's been learning up basketball. He's our next head basketball coach here at Tennessee, John Gruden. His wife was a cheerleader at Tennessee, you know.
They could throw the ball down court to make more long court passes if Peyton Manning was the coach.
I heard that Michael Jordan was thinking about coaching the University of Tennessee. He's, it was such a high-profile job.
This part of the episode has been brought to you by Reynolds Aluminum Wrap. Good for
I have one more thing before I want to talk a little bit about the NIL. Just a second. So, I see I think what's going to happen is like the SEC, like the conference in general, is going to try to mold itself more towards the NFL.
Oh, 100%.
I can see in the next 5 to 10 years they sign a deal with some clothing, let's say Nike, that every school in the SEC wears Nike, kind of like the NFL. And then they start obviously sharing money from the sales off that as a collective.
Yep.
Spread it out.
Yep.
And then blah, 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 blah. And NIL, I'm hoping there has to be a rule change in the next 2 years. Has to be.
I would think so. I think it gets out of control.
I think the easiest thing, me coming from being an idiot, which I am, is in my world, it makes sense that you get one freebie. The only other freebie you can have is if the coach leaves or fires, so then you get another one.
Right.
And then if you don't do it again, you lose your eligibility.
Right.
Because considering that they're talking about making it 5 years of eligibility now. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not.
Some dude at work, some guy, Justin at work told me that. So I don't know if that's true.
Shout out to Justin, and more importantly, his son.
Yeah, because he listened to every episode. He's a lot. Well, Justin does too. Thanks, Justin. Anyway, so if they go to 5 years eligibility, they give them one freebie. Coach fires. Okay, that lets you go.
Yeah.
And if you do it, you lose your eligibility. And then I think they need to figure out something with the tampering because there is tampering going on for sure.
Yep.
Maybe make agency legal. I don't know.
Something. I'm glad you at least said coach get fired and not go down the Mississippi State route.
I said fired or leave. I didn't say die. You said that. That's your mind, not mine. I can't think of a coach that's died in an active coaching position in recent memory. Head coach. I can't. Phil Fulmer, maybe.
That was just in spirit.
Yeah, because he sold it to the devil to win in 98.
As always, listeners, we appreciate you for tuning in. Catch you on next week.
The flip side.
Next week.
Whatever that might be. You got to say the flip side, because we don't know if we're going to do it next week. The flip side.
Assuming Jesus doesn't come back on Friday.
I mean, it'd be a good day when he does. Hey, baseball season right around the corner, folks. One loss. Tony, fire Tony. We're out. Fire him. He won that one loss.
You've been listening to Tennessee Fan Talk. It's where the orange and white come to life. If it has anything to do with the Vols, we're talking about it. Thanks so much for listening to the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But wherever you are, we are. And we are at TN Fan Talk. Would you like to be on the show? We'd love to have you. Find our link tree in the show description. No experience or equipment is needed. Keep bleeding orange. And see you next time on Tennessee Fan Talk.
Go basketballs.
Vols by 50.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.
Kroger Delivery makes it easy to do your holiday shopping in a jingle. There might be a lot on your to-do list, but thanks to Kroger Delivery, you can get everything you need delivered straight to your door at the same great prices you'd find in store. Our refrigerated trucks always ensure that your groceries arrive fresh. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order of $75 or more and get free delivery with a Boost membership. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.